Well, it has been a while since I did something on snipers, and recently I stumbled across an interesting leaflet from the German Army High Command from May 1943 with the title Instructions for the Training and Employment of Snipers, Anleitung für die Ausbildung und den Einsatz von Scharfschützen. So let's head on in. The leaflet starts with the purpose of the sniper training. The purpose of sniper training is to educate and encourage individual riflemen to achieve maximum performance in firing with the rifle. It is immediately followed with a short description about the task of a sniper. The sniper's role is to find small targets that are hard to identify and hit them with a wild aim single shot. Now the section on the training starts immediately with the statement that only the best marksmen should get trained. Yet more interesting is the follow-up sentence that states that the best marksmen should get their hands on a sniper rifle without any regards toward the rank. As required characteristics are explicitly noted: hunter-like behavior, jägermäßiges Verhalten, patience, endurance, and cunning, list. Note that the word list was used, which can also be translated as deceitfulness, yet the Germans also have Hinterlist, which is usually translated with deceitfulness or insidiousness. Why do I mention this? Well, somebody commented on my lessons learned from the Eastern Front video that the Germans classifying the Soviet soldiers as hinterlistig, deceitful should not be seen as negative, since that is a good quality in war. Well, I disagree, because in German we have listig and hinterlistig. The first having a positive or a neutral connotation, the second has a negative connotation. The leaflet continues. Cold-blooded consideration, skillful use of the terrain and all camouflage possibilities, as well as excellent powers of observation, must distinguish him both in sneaking up to the enemy position and in attacking the enemy. Additionally, it is noted in bold, being a sniper is a distinction. The next part deals with the instructor. It is noted that he is the prerequisite for any good sniper training. The instructor must be experienced and capable of teaching. Additionally, he must be himself an excellent shot. As characteristics, it is noted that he must be calm, patient, and to be able to adapt to the distinctive features of the marksman. It is noted that squad and other leaders that are not qualified should not conduct the training. The training includes also general lessons that are less practical. The practical training in firing shall be prepared according to the progress by teaching about the gun, the scope, the shooting theory, and the employment of the sniper with the sandbox. The instruction must be simple, short and clear, and limited to the essentials. Note that the last line is quite common from my experience, at least for mid to late war instructions. It might also have appeared early as well, but I can't recall. And I know that one army regulation on small arms training from 1944 specifically notes that the instructor should not overestimate the importance of theory and forget what he previously thought should be taught in that regard, and only focus on practical aspects of firing. The part of aiming talks about how the scope works. It particularly notes that the temperature and weather affect the shot and refers to the appendix in regards of specific tables for proper leads. The part about aiming notes, aiming with the scoped rifle and the shooting positions must be practiced often. Uniform practice of attacks and boring aiming kill the joy of shooting. Therefore, the training must be transferred to the terrain at an early stage. The last sentence was in bold and is also a very common phrase in instructions and regulations. One of you might remember it from the training order from October 1944 for the Volkssturm, where the exact phrase was noted. The leaflet continues to note that all shooting positions must be trained, for instance, stances within cover, open field or on frozen ground. Furthermore, it is noted that the sniper should strive to always shoot in a way that the rifle is supported by ground or obstacles. As such, he must be practiced in the making of a good rifle rest. It facilitates the delivery of a well-aimed shot. The use of an accompanying branch fork may be appropriate. It is noted that the proper firing position is crucial and that many riflemen only fire badly due to an incorrect breathing technique. As such, it is vital that the trainer pays attention to this detail, especially with young students. To increase the joy of the training for the marksman, it is recommended to combine the exercising for shooting positions with sneaking exercises. By two detachments sneaking up against each other, the sniper finds opportunity to aim at live and moving targets. Now it is important to add here that Abteilung is usually translated with battalion, since the Germans use this term for many non-infantry units in battalion size. Yet the word can also be translated as department or detachment. Due to the speciality of this training, I assume this refers to smaller special unit and thus translated with detachment. There are two more reasons for this assumption. A. The document was from the general of the infantry in the German army's general staff, and the infantry units used Bataillon, not Abteilung. B. According to Tessin, the training and replacement units for the infantry were called Ausbildungsbataillone and not Abteilung. Hence I assume it was called an Abteilung due to its size or special purpose, or both. Of course, this could also be a misprint. The next section is about spotting the enemy. It notes that the enemy that uses all kinds of camouflage and also entrenching tool is hard to spot. Therefore, scheduled training of the sniper is observation through visual exercises and exercises in marking targets in all postures is necessary. The target presentation must initially be simple and gradually become more difficult. It is recommended to use various targets that are static, then in motion and in various different circumstances, for instance sunlight, dusk, dawn, night and different terrain as well. This should provide the sniper with some general ideas for his own. Additionally, training with two different units against each other is recommended since it's more dynamic and also provides plenty examples of do's and don'ts. Another point is about estimation, the range of targets, since this is a foundation for firing accuracy. Hence, it is recommended to perform exercises in changing terrain, time and weather. Additionally, estimates of distances in all postures must be demanded. The sniper must be able to estimate distances of up to 500 meters, that is about 0.31 miles, with certainty. It includes a list at what range what features can be detected. At 300 meters, one can see parts of the clothes. At 250, the color of the clothes. At 150, details of the equipment like belt buckles. At 100 meters, faces, and at 60 meters, eyes. Furthermore, it is noted which factors lead to the under- and overestimation of ranges. It's underestimated, objects clearly visible. In sunshine, sun in the back, especially above water, snow, plains. If individual sections are not visible, with bright under and background. It is estimated too far, in gloomy, foggy, rainy weather, at dusk, against the sun, in the forest, with dark under and background, on long straight roads, uphill. As such, for training targets, such optical illusions should be added as well. Additionally, it is pointed out that it is crucial that sniper remembers these ranges again and again. Practical guidelines are included as well. One is to estimate the target range by using a reference point in the terrain and then to translate it to the target. For longer distances, it can be useful to break up the distance into several sections and estimate them individually. The next aspect is about camouflage and the use of the entrenching tool. The sniper should be a master in the exploitation of terrain and concealment. The sniper must choose or construct his positions so that he can stand, sit or lie comfortably. Nothing reveals more than careless movement. Additionally, it is crucial that a sniper can disappear quickly, no matter if it is in grass, bushes, trees, snow, farmhouses, etc. and also find proper firing positions there as well. When it comes to houses, it is crucial to use the depth of the room in order to prevent smoke and muzzle blast to be easily visible. Furthermore, if the enemy target, for instance the sniper, cannot be seen immediately because of his good camouflage, the sniper must not be discouraged and must always try to pick out targets. Needless to say, sneaking is also a fundamental skill for the sniper. Hence, all types of preparatory work, the different ways of carrying the rifle, are to be practiced drill-wise in changing terrain, preferably in the front of small competitions by several riflemen next to each other or in two detachments. For instance, jumping, crouching walking, advancing on knees, rifle hung around the neck, crawling forward, rolling away into a cover, crawling or jumping advancing from shell crater to shell crater. The manual notes that exercising sneaking in the forest is particularly useful for training the eyes and ears. the importance of patience and endurance are particularly noted, since sneaking slowly across difficult terrains for hours or even days to then reach the necessary position. Of course, after reaching his position, it is not over. The position is likely not particularly pleasant, and to conduct his mission, the sniper has to stay there for hours or even days, observing and waiting for the right moment. The next section is about the sniper rifles. It is noted that the Iring firing range is 400 meters, so about 0.25 miles. Additionally, newly assigned scoped rifles are to be shot before being issued to the rifleman. For the carbines and semi-automatic rifles, for which the scope is to be designed, the shot must be fired with at least 3 rounds within a circle of 7 cm, which is 2.76 inch. Although after a long transport it is required to adjust the rifle again, and that if possible the accuracy of the weapon should be verified when possible. For the training it is crucial to first achieve consistent hits under ideal conditions, where the target is clearly visible. After this was achieved, the switch to more difficult targets and weather conditions is justified. As such, the conditions increase in difficulty over time and must be adapted to the requirements of combat. Furthermore, it is not important for the sniper to make a quick succession of shots, but to score hits. For the final firing exercises, it is noted that they should be conducted after previous exercises or after an initial exhausting march, or orientation training. After all, the sniper must be used to shoot well even when exhausted. Finally, it is pointed out that it is important that during training the sniper fires a few shots each day, whereas firing a lot of shots for a short period is seen as less effective. Well, not much to add here. I hope you learned something new. Special thanks to Roman for discussing the Abteilung aspect, Andrew for reviewing the script, and to my Discord crew for discussing various English terminology. A big thank you here to all my supporters on Patreon. As always, sources are linked in the description. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for watching and see you next time.